about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Will?
It really is a time when all of us have got to start talking louder than ever. The rapid speed of, if you like, globalization. The world government, world army, world central bank, world currency, world microchip population.
Don't be afraid.
No, be afraid. Be very afraid.
The important thing is to know where they want to take us.
They have to destroy the dollar, destroy the pound, destroy the old order while they've been building the new world order, this technological enslavement system.
The FBI is taking on a $1 billion project to gather fingerprints, palm patterns, even digital pictures of faces. Eventually, it could expand to include iris patterns, face shape patterns, scars, even information about how you walk and talk. It's called biometrics.
You can't handle the truth.
Time to Howl at the Wolves. It's Saturday night, November 15, 2025, or 2025. What did they say, the Bilderberg Group?
As you like it.
Adam Earth back in studio. How are you, Adam?
I'm doing great. Great to be back. Missed you guys.
Sitting in between Adam and myself is Lieutenant Keith Temple, former Navy.
There you go. Thanks, Chad. Glad to be here. Let's have a great show tonight.
Damn straight. Scott Hare is still scheduled to return. He will return as soon as he can, folks. And Scott wants to be back on the show more than I want him to. I'm just kidding. Scott wants to be back on the show very, very bad. And he will be back on as soon as possible. And I think we all just need to give him patience and support. Think about him. Thoughts and prayers, and he's going to recoup and be back on the show as soon as he can. Another co-host is no stranger to longtime listeners of this show. He is a best-selling author many times over. He is the most interesting man in the world. You can find him at brooksagnew.com. Dr. Brooks Agnew, how are you?
Doing pretty well. It's good to be here on a Saturday night on Earth.
Saturday night's all right for fighting. That's what John Eldon said. So Saturday night is the right time. Brooks, you're kicking ass on the house is basically done, and we're moving in.
Yeah, that's true. We closed on the loan yesterday. Trying to get my heat pump running. Turns out brand spanking new condenser fan is bad, so I'm having to replace it.
Small stuff compared to folks. The house that he's done a number of houses. The house that Brooks has built is just phenomenally beautiful, and it's just I just have to give you congratulations because it's been a journey even on this show as you've been building it. So it's incredible.
Brooks, I gotta ask: is this the final one? Is this the one you're going to be in for a while, or?
Oh yeah, it's my forever house. I got a couple more to build. I got 2 more kids, so we'll build a couple more houses probably
Near you, on adjacent?
I'll probably build one in Kansas and one a few miles away.
There you go. Good.
Make sure they're far away from North Carolina. Just kidding. Brooks, we listen. We got a lot to talk about, but I just now, if you don't want to, we won't. But if you want to, we will. See how I work?
About it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've been teasing it for so damn long. I'm just saying we don't have to do an entire hour. We can do 20 minutes, however long it goes.
No, we can do an hour. That's no problem. 2 hours is a little bit of a stretch, but it's just because of the drugs that I'm taking. But 1 hour is fine. I can do that.
You're doing 1 hour tonight for the show? Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, let's just briefly go over a little bit of biohacking. Not long, just a little bit, because we've been teasing it for so long.
All right.
For example, if you're new to the show, we're going to cover a lot of stuff tonight, folks. But if you're relatively new to the show, or even if you're not new, you've heard Brooks and I talk about biohacking for quite some time. And we discovered that we were both biohackers, I think, Brooks, like this past January or something like that. Just because you mentioned something, and then I said, Brooks, are you a biohacker? And then all of a sudden, we found out that we've known each other since 2009 and never knew that we were both biohackers. It's crazy. And Keith Temple here recently met you for the first time in our election night show, which we covered the election this past November, last November. I mean,
Great night.
Yep.
Awesome night. Top 10 in my life.
I passed out.
So did Kayla. That's okay. She did before you, I think. But see, I can't help but mention that. That's crazy. But so Keith met you for the first time and all this, and then as he's starting to do the show more and more, he had no effing idea what your actual age was. He actually thought you were like
50.
50. Well, Brooks, you know, I've been biohacking for quite some time, also, and just this week, buying at the grocery store, buying what I'm buying, you know, meth, cocaine at the grocery store, but
Over the counter.
yeah, but buying my groceries, which included wine. This chick who was probably in her 30s, early 30s, something like that. I hadn't seen her before. She hadn't seen me before. It's my regular grocery store. She asked for my ID, so I pulled my license out and gave it to her. And she looks at the ID and looks at me and says, quote, "You have aged extremely well." And then she said, she followed it up with, "You could pass for below 30. And all I told her was, I wanted to tell her more, but there's a big ass line, right? So I wanted to tell her about biohacking, but I couldn't. I just said, well, you know, thank you. It's a compliment, I guess. I'm sure you get that as well, Brooks.
Oh yeah, I do. Even from my doctor, they don't understand biohacking. They think all people age the same. They don't understand that literally people can just stop aging, and you know, if you're doing the right supplements for you. You can stave that off. You don't get wrinkles. Your eyesight doesn't go bad. Your brain doesn't go foggy. Your stamina stays up. Your sex drive stays up. I mean, on paper, with all the lab work and everything, I'm a perfectly healthy 55-year-old man. And you can't tell the difference. If you were to look at my labs on paper, you would say, yeah, this is a 55-year-old man. But obviously, the calendar would disagree with that, but I don't plan on aging at all. I'm going to stay this age for another 10 years.
And the thing is, I want to, when we're going to give some stuff. There's so much to biohacking. By the way, folks, if you want to, you can re-listen to the show, blah blah blah. You can take notes. Dave Osprey is the basically father of biohacking. Progenia, I think someone can check me on it, is the early age, aging prematurely disease that Dave Osprey had, and he went hardcore into researching to fight this premature aging that he had, and so that's where biohacking came from.
Oh, right.
And so that's Dave Osprey. If you guys want to look him up, and how I don't know, how did I fall into it? because I started researching 9/11. Chad, that doesn't make sense. I know. Because by researching 9/11, somehow I fell into doing a talk radio show on terrestrial radio, and through that I met a lot of people and heard a lot of stuff, and it's like osmosis. You start retaining a bunch of information, and by trying this and this, at one time I realized, holy shit, I'm biohacking. I wasn't trying to, but I think, Brooks, you would agree with me that biohacking is not about a vein being vain, anything like that. Biohacking works from within. You know, you're repairing yourself from within, and then the result. There's another result in the outside appearance.
Well, that's correct. And we'll be more specific and less cagey. You know, it boils down to basically 4 or 5 things. The mitochondria in your system are like the little batteries inside your cells. It takes a while to build them up. They don't build up overnight, but it doesn't take that long to deplete them. In 6 months' time, you could have half as many mitochondria as you do right now in your cells, because these are what process ATP, which is adenine triphosphate, turns it into energy for you to run your body on. If you're sedentary and you're not exercising and you're not doing anything to improve the mitochondria, the numbers drop and you drop, and you begin not feeling like you want to get out of the chair and do anything. And then pretty soon you don't, and then you die. So biohacking is mainly about keeping the battery inside your cell at peak condition at all times. And that can involve zinc in order to open up your cell walls and let nutrients in. It can involve taking an NAD booster. You cannot eat NAD. It doesn't work. You have to boost the NAD production in your body. And that's something you stop doing at about age 45. Obviously, if you're 70, you want to keep that NAD going. You need to take a supplement that tells your body to keep making the NAD. And that's what keeps your mitochondria charged up. But then there are other things too. Each body is different. Thyroid issues, liver issues. You need to know what your blood chemistry is doing, and then you'll know what supplements to take in what quantities to get your numbers in the middle of the spec.
That's very well said, Brooks. And just because we can't like go way deep into, because we don't have enough time to go all the way into biohacking tonight, but we can, if people are taking notes. Brooks and I both take NAD.
And what do you take for that?
I thought I don't have a jar of it here on my desk, but I take True Niagen. Mm-hmm. True Niagen was the original. I take 600 milligrams a day. Some people take 1,000 milligrams a day. Is made from milk, and nicotinamide riboside stimulates your body to make the NAD, and it works very, very well. I also take MNN. It's a white powder that you put underneath your tongue once in the morning and once at night. That keeps your arteries nice and soft and keeps your body making NAD while you sleep.
And Brooks and I, we all take we're covering the basis of the foundations. Brooks and I also take, I think, the best pure grass-fed beef collagen. So collagen, I know you take, Brooks.
I take all 4 of the collagens, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's 4 different levels of collagen. Each one does different things, but I take 1,000 milligrams that is a mix of all 4.
So there's collagen, and then like there's a lot to go into. Hyaluronic acid is incredible for your joints. It's like the fluid in between, but it also has to do with skin, hair, and nails. But all of this, if you take a good source of vitamin C, on a regular basis, a good source of vitamin C. Natural would be like strawberries. Holy shit, right? Strawberries get expensive, but if you find a good supplement that's a good liposomal vitamin C, that delivers the collagen and the hyaluronic acid.
Now, you had mentioned last week off the show about the telomeres. Is that the collagen that extends or prevents?
Oh, the
those-
telomeres?
Yeah.
Telomeres. Well, that goes into NAD. And
The telomeres are humans resist mutation by capping their chromosomes with telomeres. Telomeres are like a protective buffer on the ends of your chromosomes. As you age, the telomeres begin to burn down. And when they get to zero, your DNA ceases to remain intact. And it won't be very much longer, you're going to die of old age, which is called malnutrition. You could eat all you want and it won't do anything for you because you can't utilize it. So you want to keep the telomeres as long as possible, And that's one of the functions of the NAD.
And I gave you something last week.
Yes, you sure did.
Yeah, for your telomeres. So it's a matter of applying everything, Brooks. As you know, you have to apply it, and once you do, you see results. Down the road, you have to be adamant about it and do it on a regular basis. I just include it with everything that there's a regimen I have when I wake up, whenever that is. My schedule's so weird. It might be daytime or nighttime when I wake up, but when I wake up, I keep the same regimen of certain things that I'm going to do, and I'm sure you do as well. And biohacking is something that is not unethical, Brooks. Remember I looked up an article on biohacking and they called it unethical, like we're assholes.
Yeah, like it's not fair.
Yeah, it's like, well, no, everyone can biohack. Shut up! It's not unethical. It's not unethical to want to stay out of the hospital and to not grow old.
But Chad, you're not doing it the system way.
Oh.
Of billions and billions of dollars.
Oh, I'm not contributing to the illnesses.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I'll just continue to dunk a basketball.
Yeah.
So fuck off. No, I'm gonna biohack. I'm gonna biohack.
Well, I'm extremely new to this whole idea. I mean, I've heard it, and I'll relate it to like 9/11. I mean, it takes sometimes ignorant people like me a decade to oh shit.
Dude, I am. We're both proud of each other. But I am so proud of you for the fact that, I mean, you were late to the party on 9/11, but you understand what the fuck's going on now.
Right.
You do.
Right.
And the thing is, you're brilliant, and you realized, holy S. You have, what do we talk about at the men's group today? We talk about being a strong man.
Right.
And the overarching was that you have to be humble, basically.
One of them, yes.
What I was going to say, I didn't speak up. We were at a men's group meeting this morning, Brooks. I went with Keith. He invited me at the church he goes to, and I wasn't going to. I'm new. I wasn't good. I wanted to quote Sean Ryan, my Navy SEAL buddy, Sean Ryan, who told me in a private conversation, talking about when he got out of the teams and trying to find a job and blah, blah, blah. He couldn't be a law enforcement officer, doesn't have temperament. No operator has a temperament to be a law enforcement officer. Kill somebody right away. He's like, I tried to be a firefighter. I couldn't do that. Blah, blah, blah. He said, Chad, I learned, but I was pissed off. I was pissed off about trying to be a civilian. And he said, I realized I had to shit can my ego. And that's about
right, spot on.
Yeah, I should have said it at the men's group.
You got it next week.
But it'll be a different topic. But the thing is, Keith could have not shit-canned his ego and been like, Chad, fuck you. 9/11's not an inside job. Chad, fuck you. Biohacking's not real. Blah blah blah. No, he's a brilliant dude who realized there's something going on with this Brooks Agnew guy and this Scott Hare guy and this Chad guy and this Adam Ritz, this whole show. They got these guests, and that's why you're here, because you're like, holy shit, you looked into stuff and you're like,
Well, I've taught chemistry and physics and math for high school for nearly 20 years. And I've always told a lot of my students that, man, it's really hard to beat Mother Nature.
Yeah, it is.
And that's where I'm coming back to. I've been proclaiming it in the classroom, but it's really coming back to this issue. I told Chad the other day, it's been 2 months, 6 weeks. He talked to me about apricot seeds and the extract from that. Some of the benefits, with cancer issues. And I've had a couple of friends with very severe, terminal, pretty hopeless issues. And I've gotten them some B17, and I need to confirm it.
things are turning around
But
for
things are turning around for some people there, and and like I say, I want to build up some personal testimonies and say, hey, you know what, I've had 6 or 8 friends, close people in my sphere of influence that have had really bad cases of cancer, and of them, if they did this has been the turnaround rate, and nobody, the FDA, I don't care who, can't argue with a testimony. If you say,
that's true. A testimony is like a fact, a personal observation. But I will tell you, dead straight up, when my doctors ask me, what am I taking, and I tell them, they say, just stop taking that shit. None of that stuff even works. And yet you talk to millions of people that take vitamins, and like you just said, the B complexes totally change your life. Niacin totally changes your circulatory system, which is the key to getting all the nutrients in and the waste products out of your body. Doctors don't get training in nutrition. They don't know shit about it. All they know is drugs.
Yep.
And I can tell you that I had my labs done for 2 years every 90 days, just because I just wanted to see where I was and make slight adjustments in my supplement regimen. And it blows their mind when they take labs and they just go, what the hell? How can you have labs of a 50-year-old man?
and that's your testimony, and nobody can refute that.
Right on.
Yeah. I'd like to add, because I can add nothing to the biohacking, but I would like to add maybe.
I want you to start biohacking.
Yeah, but I do want to
trying
add
to
a
get
little
you.
bit of a spiritual lens to this whole thing. Recognize in the Garden of Eden, everything was perfect. The only thing in the Garden of Eden that really God did not put in that perfect garden was Adam. Adam was created outside of the Garden of Eden, and God brought him into the Garden of Eden. And then when there was the sin, right, and Adam and Eve were cast out of the Garden of Eden, God cursed the soil, right? And before then, there was no disease, there was no death, there was nothing. And then from the toil, right, of of living, right, out of this cursed soil, right, now all of a sudden we get death, right, and disease, right, and cancers and those things. And like we talked about, the original human DNA, right, didn't have that. But then this, this corruption, this curse, right, entered into human bodies, and we didn't live 800-900 years anymore. We started living 300 or 400 years, and then we started living 150 years, and then we started living 80 years or whatever it is. So I go back to what I told my students. It is really tough to beat Mother Nature.
It is.
But at the same time, I'm not challenging you. I'm just saying the great one that we're talking about also created these apricot seeds right here.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And created everything that we're talking about with biohacking is all natural.
Right.
None of it's pharmaceutical bullshit. It's all natural.
Right.
Right.
And Brooks, I'm going to eat because apricot seeds have cyanide in them. I'm going to eat these apricot seeds and die live on air. You know, when you look up apricot seeds, folks, you know, because the pharmaceutical, the big pharma, the medical mafia, pharmaceutical mafia, they would go out of business if people didn't have cancer. They would go out of business big time. But you can, you know, apricot seeds, I don't know. Something in them. Yeah, they have cyanide, but it's only activated when the cyanide comes in contact with cancer cells.
Ah, interesting.
It's Ty Bollinger. Well, it was G. Edward Griffin that told me first about apricot seeds, and then Ty Bollinger when I had him on, and love the hell out of Ty. You've been on with Ty, and hopefully again when he wrote "Cancer Step Outside the Box." It was like apricot seeds, yeah. Vitamin B17, amygdala. It's got so many different names, but cancer cells, when B17 comes in contact with cancer cells, not healthy cells, cancer cells, that's when the cyanide is released and it poisons the cancer cells.
It's almost like a targeted chemo, sounds like.
There's a book everyone should look up, G. Edward Griffin, because he told me first about this. Very first guest ever on the show, G. Edward. He wrote the book World Without Cancer. G. Edward Griffin. A lot of people know him about Creature from Jekyll Island, you know, and Find the New World Order. But his book, World Without Cancer, there's a, Brooks, I forget, it's I always get it backwards. It's either a South American tribe or an African tribe, but their main diet is apricot seeds. And,
wow. Their main diet?
Well, I mean,
a
healthy part of their diet is apricot seeds, and there's no cancer. It's like the Amish with no autism because they don't take vaccines.
Oh, right. Okay.
This tribe has no cancer, but that's what attracted G. Edward to it. And so he found out that a huge part of their diet is apricot seeds, and then he started looking at apricot seeds and what's in apricot seeds. But if you look up apricot seeds, if you Google it, it's going to tell you it's got cyanide. It'll kill you.
Yeah.
Well, I just ate 4 seeds.
Cyan.
Yeah, I just ate 4 seeds. Let me eat 4 more so I die on air.
Well, Brooks, and Brooks, I had mentioned to you several shows ago
You want to get bitter apricot seeds, by the way.
that you know, the idea is that, man, I just wish that there would be scientific studies that would give God an even hand. You know, rather than just discarding that and running, you know, double-blinded, peer-review, long-term issues, you know, into all these other areas. Let's run a couple of studies on it, you know, and you know, and the problem is that the people funding the studies have no vested interest in something.
Well, there you go, right there. The vitamin companies aren't going to pay them big bucks. It's going to be the pharmaceutical companies that are going to pay them big money. it's often said that the scientists, you can link the scientific results to directly to the funding.
95%,
Yeah.
something like that. 98%.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, of course you are. You are going to find a result that is in favor for the person who's paying you for 5 or 10 years to conduct this research and this study and publish this publication. And that's just the brokenness of mankind. That's where that goes.
Yeah.
You know, is that, hey, but Chad, you also brought up the men's group and being humble. And I told you, hey, when we were leaving the men's group, that I was going to bring something up, and I'll tuck Brooks in on this as well, is that, you know, I walked out of that Bible study this morning, and they were talking about our leaders being servants of the people. You know, and they were talking about the Last Supper and washing the feet and those types of things. And immediately, I'll be honest, Trump came to mind. And I was thinking about political leaders that I felt, and Brooks, you've used this term, and I've loved the term for 6 weeks or 2 months or so, about this residence. You know, does it just ring right? Does it have the right pitch? And the idea is that I could not think of a more servant leader than Trump. Trump doesn't need the presidency. He doesn't need, he has money. He has a gorgeous wife. He has good kids. I mean, he loves the country. I love the country. I don't think in all of my patriotism that I would go through the crap that he goes through.
The hell.
Daily, weekly, monthly, for that. And so he has to be I can't think of anybody more of a servant leader than Trump. And then I said, you know who's a very close second, in my opinion? Is it might be J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance, I also see as someone that is there to do right by the American people. That's my opinion. It's a personal opinion, but I think it resonates well with me.
I'm with you. I think Brooks and I'm not going to put words in Brooks' mouth, but I think J.D. Vance is he's the most. We talked about it before. He's the only. Everyone else has been vice puppets of the United States, period. But he's the most effective vice president of the United States in my lifetime, Brooks.
Oh yeah, he's a great debater too, and he does not shy away from questions. And he, most vice presidents sit in the background with their hands folded and smile, and whatever the president says is okay. J.D. Vance is like, I don't know, Trump's biggest fan, but he's also a great protege.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He's the dude. I mean, that's the next 8 years after he is. And I remember, Brooks, you and I, we were talking shortly after, maybe it was after the election or before, I think it was after, and we both agreed that was a great fucking pick.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was interesting because he really wasn't very well known.
No.
It wasn't until Trump endorsed him that he won in the first place. And then when Trump selected him to be his vice presidential running mate, we didn't really know him. We really didn't know him. And what we did know is that Trump was going to do mighty things for the next 4 years. But we wanted somebody who could pick up the MAGA torch and carry it forward, not change the color of the flame, right? And it looks like J.D. Vance is the perfect guy to do that.
Well, Chad, you paid me a really big compliment about being able to change and to grow and to change. You know,
I'm glad you saw it that way because I thought you were pissed.
No. And the idea is I've been a huge DeSantis fan. You know, I mean, he's been our governor. He led us through COVID.
He's a great governor.
I think he's a great guy.
He's the best governor this country
but
has.
like I say, over the last year, J.D. Vance has moved ahead of him. If it comes down to a Republican primary,
No, it's
I
JD.
think I'm checking the box for J.D. Vance. at
JD all
this,
the way.
right? You know, and
I wish I'm going to step on you just because I'm an asshole.
no, that's your show. Go for it, my man.
No, I'm just going to say my brother and I, we were hanging out in Tallahassee, and because that's where he lives, and he never comes to Jacksonville. Fuck you. And
Poor bastard.
dude, he went to FSU and never came back to Jacksonville. But we were talking, and I was like, DeSantis has to stay governor forever. You know,
The thing that impresses me about DeSantis is when there's a hurricane, and the hurricane is just kicking ass, but he knows that sooner or later it's going to pass by, and all of the lineman trucks are idling, ready to go, and as the wind passes, the last damage is done. Those trucks are rolling, and almost before the streets are dry, people have their power back on.
And isn't that what the purpose of government is?
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Right? I mean, that's what we want our elected officials to oversee and do, and not flounder around and find excuses. Right? Let's live.
Right.
Let's live an abundant life. Let's enjoy it. Let's do the way we're supposed to.
Brooks makes a perfect point about DeSantis, and I was horrified to realize that, because isn't it every state? Do they have all the states are they different? Because who's Abbott in Texas?
In Texas,
Hasn't he been governor for way longer than 2 terms?
boy, it sure seems like.
Yeah, he's been around for a while, but Texas is different than Florida.
That's what I'm saying. So I thought, see, that's where my brother and I, where he fucked me up. Because I was like, well, Abbott's been, he's like, no, DeSantis only has this last term. I was like, shut the fuck up. So in Florida, he only has 2 terms. Abbott's been, we need to look up because Texas obviously is different, because Abbott's been governor for way longer than 2 terms. I can tell you that. There ain't no. All right, you know my code. You know my code. Look up. Want me to do it? I'll do it.
I'll do it. I got my phone. I'll look it up.
Gotta keep my tradition of not looking shit up myself on the show.
There you go. Yeah,
Everybody knows your code.
you have us over for dinner to do this stuff.
Not me. You got me over here pushing buttons.
Yeah.
Hey Brooks, tonight I cooked chicken spaghetti.
Ooh, chicken spaghetti. It sounds sacrilegious, but
Well, think about it. No, it's not like you would think. It's not ground chicken. It's not. There's no tomato sauce. It's actually a cream-based sauce. It's got sautéed red onion, green and red bell pepper, all sautéed. It's a cream-based sauce, just with I'll send you the recipe. I'll text it
I
to
like
you.
it already.
Don't worry, you ain't missing much.
And it's got
only
smoked.
delicious.
It's got grated smoked Gouda.
Okay.
Oh,
And Brooks, I mean, Chad, in the last couple of weeks, last week we had off. Chad made jambalaya. I'm from New Orleans, and he asked me what I kind of wanted. I said,
Stay on the mic. Stay on the mic because you're going out.
Stay on the mic. Okay. And Chad made jambalaya, And so that's been 2 weeks that he's had 2 new dishes that he's looked up and he's been jazzed about. And that's what life's about, finding things that you enjoy. But Greg Abbott, governor of Texas since January of 2015, been a little over 9 years. So,
Wow.
so you know, I guess they do not have an 8-year 2-term limit.
Yeah, so it's different in different states, like Bruce
The way
was
it
saying.
should be, though, right? I mean,
It's however you want it, but I just think DeSantis should be dictator.
he sure has been good. And I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, man, how different things would be. And I was talking about the Supreme
Holy
Court.
shit! If the cross-dresser would have beat DeSantis,
Right. What was his name?
if the crack whore cross-dresser guy,
Oh, he was a city council in Tallahassee.
DeSantis won by like
2%. Like it was 51-49. I mean, it was incredible. Do you remember the guy's name?
I used to.
You did last week. I can't remember his name now. But, I mean...
Brooks, if he would have won, afterwards it comes out he's a crackhead, cross-dressing, cheating on his wife beater, but he's everything under the sun.
Found in a hotel room with cocaine and a minor male
But
prostitute.
might have had a suspended license. I mean,
would've
that's like the lesser of the charge. You know, this guy, he almost became governor of Florida, and Adam Earth voted for him. Just
The
kidding.
hell ever.
And the idea would be is
But
what a difference that would have made
Florida
for COVID.
would have been New York City with COVID. Holy shit.
Florida would have been a rainbow parade.
Yeah. And Mar-a-Lago probably would have been fucking bulldozed.
So
I like DeSantis because he said Florida is where woke comes to die.
Yeah. I still listen straight up. I put it on the Super Friends chat a while back, but when you go into Florida and you leave Florida, when you go into Florida, it says "Welcome to the free state of Florida." When you leave Florida, it says "Hurry back to the free state of Florida." That's too cool.
And in St. Augustine, it says no liberals allowed. I swear. You got a banner.
Brooks is moving to Florida next week, by the way, folks.
No.
no, Brooks
gotta
got
stay in
his
Charlotte.
retirement house.
Keep it red.
We're going to go up there and visit him.
We are.
Chad is going to cook.
Do you understand, Keith, Lieutenant Temple, that we are inviting ourselves? We have not been invited. We have not been
what?
invited.
You know what,
I'm
Chad?
inviting Brooks here first. And if Brooks ever invites us, then we'll come. But you got to stop inviting us.
Well, you invite him here, and if he shows up, then you're automatically family, and then you could just show up over there.
There you go.
Yeah.
What that means.
I got a Christmas present for Brooks, and if we don't get to go between now and Christmas, I'm going to mail it.
Well, we can't do it between now and Christmas, man.
Oh, Chad.
It's got to be next year after the snow stuff. I'm not driving in snow of North Carolina.
Okay. Well, then, Brooks, I'm going to mail you a present.
Don't do it.
Unless
He's
Brooks
just trying
is,
to get your address.
Brooks is sending us a private plane again, then we'll definitely.
Brooks and this author have a lot in common. Christians, physicists. I think Brooks being a reader. Oops. Brooks being a reader.
You gotta stay on that
I
mic,
think
dude.
Brooks would spend a few minutes or hours at least looking at the gentleman. And he's right around the corner from you. I think he's in Charlotte.
Brooks, are you still with us? Oh, there he is. Nope.
He's there.
I don't
Maybe.
know.
I just heard Brooks.
What?
There you
There
go.
it is. We just make sure you're still here.
Well, there's a question in this?
Yeah, are you still here?
There you go. Good. Well, Brooks, what's on your mind? What's going on in Charlotte?
Oh my gosh. We had a minor gathering of activists today who are against ICE coming to Charlotte. And we've been literally begging ICE to come to Charlotte for 10 years. It is, we used to have a beautiful city. It was peaceful. You could go out at night. You could go bar hopping. You could go to cigar bars. You could go eat. You could go to games. We got so many professional teams in Charlotte.
The Golden Triangle, right? Isn't that what it used to be called? You and Raleigh, Durham, and
right. But Raleigh's, 150 miles to the east. But Charlotte's the biggest city in the state. And it's always been a clean city. We don't have any natural barriers. The only barriers we really have are the Beltway, the 485 Beltway, which is large. And so Charlotte-Mecklenburg has grown into the ninth largest metro in the country. It's rich. It's a banking center. It's a data center. And Hickory is a good exurb, and Concord is a good exurb. Exurbs are not suburbs; they're separate from the main city, but they're part of the main city, just by virtue of the concrete. However, in the last 10 years, the illegals have literally taken over, and we have big problems. You cannot go out at night. You will get mugged. You will get robbed. You will get accosted. You will get assaulted. It's 100% guarantee. And after Irina Zarutska was brutally murdered on the Blue Line, of course, bringing national attention, thanks to America Free Radio, which is my program, national attention to this epidemic that we have of murder in Charlotte that is caused by repeat offenders that are repeatedly let out on either no bail or very low bail. And we're not talking about 3 or 4 times. We're talking about 20, 30, 40 times, almost as though they're sending them back out on the street to kill people. And we have finally gotten the attention of, after Irina Zarutska, who was a Ukrainian immigrant who was brutally stabbed to death on camera on the Blue Line by DeCarlos Brown. We finally got the administration to notice us, and they're going to send ICE to Charlotte to try to help turn this around and get our city back. Well, these activists decided to demonstrate today, and of course they're saying, and this Juan Arias, who is a Colombian-born illegal immigrant, he's now been elevated to, get this, city councilman in Charlotte. Now, I know you know the way city council works in most cities, and Charlotte is very typical in that way. City council is the doormat to higher political office in North Carolina. You start out as city councilman, you work your way up into bigger and bigger callings. This guy's an illegal alien. He is not here legally. And yet the Mayor Vi, who is this super radical black mayor that we've had now 4 terms, she just got reelected. She's allowed this illegal alien to be elected and is now serving as a city councilman in Charlotte. He holds a big rally. Well, a big rally. There's about maybe 180 people there. And of course, the cameras are all there. He wants to keep ICE out of Charlotte because he believes that ICE is here to terrorize and attack the city. Yeah, you're going to know what terror is, Juan, because we're going to arrest your ass and we're going to deport you.
And have a special election for city council.
It's got to happen. Feds have to come in here and they have to root out this corruption. The corruption is now becoming sanctioned by the Charlotte government, and it has to be eliminated, and it has to be done very quickly, or Charlotte's going to suffer. You know, Charlotte is one of the 20s. Was it 26 or 16? You know, I forget now, but we'll say 26. One of the 26 cities that Christopher Wray, who was the former FBI director, said there are sleeper cells active inside this city, and they will be committing acts of coordinated violence, like massacres at malls or ball games or something like that. We're ripe for it. We're absolutely ripe for it. We were voted most masculine city in the entire country a few years back, and that's because all of the team sports that we sponsor in this city is totally large gathering driven. The whole economy of Charlotte Mecklenburg is driven by large crowds. Soccer, basketball, football, baseball. It's unbelievable. We're driven by it. We have Music Factory, which has got 10 different venues packed with bands that come to this city for entertainment. All the acts are sold out all the time. And it's ripe for this kind of terrorism. And to tell you the truth, I don't go down there anymore. I don't go down there anymore because I don't want to end up shooting someone, because that's what's going to happen.
Brooks, when you mention, I feel you. When you mention Ray, right, and what Christopher Wray said, he said that when it was politically right for him.
Well, yeah, but we're not, when we're talking sleeper cells here, we're talking Tren de Aragua, we're talking Al Qaeda, we're talking ISIS-2. These are badass mercenaries.
But
they don't care about who they kill.
MS-13.
That the money spends.
Yeah,
MS-13.
Yeah, I'm just saying dude, I'm totally with you. I'm just saying, and I do to you, but I do to a lot of people. I do my girlfriend. Hey, dude. But the thing is, I'm just saying, he said that when, and you're right, he said it, but he said it when it was opportunistic to fearmonger, to fear porn, the whole boogeyman bullshit of Al Qaeda.
Yeah, well, it isn't bullshit. They're real. They're here. I mean,
real terrorists. Yeah, I'm just saying, not Al Qaeda, but yeah, illegal terrorism. Sure, I'm with you. I'm just saying. Okay.
I mean, they'll do it because, like one of my friends, his name is Russell Bentley. Russell Bentley? He was finally captured and tortured to death in Ukraine. But he went to Ukraine to help the Ukrainians fight against the Nazis. And he fought them for 5 years in the streets. And he often called me on the phone. I could hear gunfire in the background. He called me on the phone and told me that Al Qaeda are the best fighters. They're the ones that Victoria Nuland and her Azov battalion, they bring them in to do the street fighting door to door. And they're here. They're here in Charlotte.
Charlotte's the home city of North Carolina University, NC.
That's right.
Okay,
UNC Charlotte is here. What a fine university. It's got a great facility. Absolutely awesome. Great sports, great education.
Basketball.
One of the best in the country.
Yeah. ACC basketball.
Right.
Yeah. I think, my perception of Charlotte is a great American city, and what you're saying disheartens me a little bit. And all I can hope is that some of the changes that are going through, hey man,
Michael Jordan still live there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He owns the Hornets.
Yeah. Absolutely. Is
he's a basketball player.
We got enough votes in the Senate to do a continuing resolution for 90 days until the end of January. It's interesting that that's exactly the same time period when the 90-day SNAP food stamp issue, that you get 90 days every 2 years. unless you show 20 hours of community service, work, education, and those types of things. I'm just hoping, and I give big kudos to 47 and the people he's put around and the game plan he has. I'm just hoping that as these government subsidies, entitlements, as they start to dry up, start to have some accountability, that this is going to cause some people to leave and move on and restore American cities back to the greatness that I think that the citizens of Charlotte deserve.
Well, and that's a big problem because this area is very red. It's very patriotic. It's very peaceful, very conservative, very capitalistic. When you drive those people out, they go either further out in the country or they change states. All that's left are voters that will put someone like Mayor Vi and this illegal alien Juan on the city council.
Right.
That's why they're getting elected, because good people are leaving.
It's like it's already happening in New York City. There's some people leaving New York. I don't know why.
Maybe it's the tax base. Maybe it's the new mayor. Maybe it's.
What are you talking about, Keith? It's the price of bananas in New York City.
Well, we also have this problem that I guess Donald Trump has a talent for exposing to the people. And that is, during the government shutdown, the American people learned for the first time that there are some 43 million people getting food stamps.
Yeah.
43 fucking million people.
Up from 18 or 19 million.
18 million are citizens.
And the rest,
25 million are illegals. We didn't know. Nobody knew.
Yeah.
Now it's exposed. And now the Secretary of the USDA is saying, that's it. Everybody gets retested. Everybody gets requalified. I guarantee you that number is going to fall in half, at least in half, down to 20 or 22 million, which means there are going to either be food riots or a line of people leaving the country.
Well,
self-deport and please.
Please, and quickly and effectively. Yes, that's the best way to go, is self-deport. But I read an article literally today.
Or turn yourself in.
It is something that my mom, she's finally coming around at 87. There is hope. There is hope. I mean, she's not completely on board, but she's starting to see more and more. And she said, she said, Keith, I hate to admit it, but she goes, I'm fully aware that there are lots and lots of people drawing food stamps from both Louisiana and Mississippi. They'll use a relative's address and those stuff. And literally today, there was an article that came out, and I don't remember the news agency that said it, that there have been identified, and I think the number's larger, 500,000 people that are drawing food stamps from multiple states, and the issue is there needs to be accountability for that. I mean, that there does. That's a criminal, issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big time stuff.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it when we were walking in here, and I'm glad you brought that up. Brooks, what if I said to you, this Epstein shit? What if I said to you that what Trump is doing? I understand you're the most interesting man in the effing world. Okay, you're fucking Dr. Brooks Agnew, so it's not going to surprise you. I can't do it. I can't surprise you. But what if I said to you, so that way I can say it to other people?
About?
As far as the Epstein files.
Oh.
What I'm looking at here is I'm just gonna call it out, and if I have egg in my face, then I'll make an omelet out of it. I'll do something. But what 45, who's now 47, I keep calling him 45 because he was originally 45, and but what President Trump is doing right now, his administration, is making a lot of people anxious, and there's a lot of people second guessing shit about this Epstein. Release the files. Release the files. I am telling you, this is where the egg can come on my face, and I'll make an omelet if I have to. This is a tripwire. In my opinion, he's doing this. This is calculated. This is calculated, and stuff that's coming out is on purpose. There's obviously, we know, any sentient being knows that if there was anything against President Trump, then that would have been put out during the Biden administration.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So there's nothing.
During the election, whatever. Yeah.
So all this call for him, release it, what are you hiding? I'm telling you, just like with Extortion 17, that's a little bit down the road. I understand, folks, but everything that I tell you, I'm telling you, everything Brooks is telling you, he's telling you, this is a tripwire as far as the holding off. It's a game, because what you're going to see is there's going to be people down the line that are going to hang, like Catherine Rumbler, and Larry Summers. You're going to hear them very, very soon. And then it continues, including someone called Barry Soetoro. It's all there. Kathleen Rumbler worked for Barry Soetoro. Brooks, it's there. I'm telling you, it's going to come out.
I don't really know what the Epstein files are, the files themselves, but I do know there are upwards of 1,000 victims in there. And I think that's one of the only reasons why they don't release the information, because those victims have said, we don't want to relive this. What we want are the people that molested us to go to jail, but we don't want our names out there. So this is a tricky thing. These women and young boys have moved on with their lives, and they don't want to be targeted by the mainstream or the fake stream news, which is exactly what will happen. That's what happened to Jeffrey, and what will happen to everybody else as well. They'll rip them apart one by one, and they'll all end up either killing themselves or wishing that they were dead. And that's the main issue with the Epstein files.
And that's extremely unfortunate.
It is.
But again, the flip side of that is that anybody accused has the right to face their accuser. And so you got to balance that issue between those two. And, as a society, we ought to protect the victims, right? And the issue is that we ought to hold the perpetrators accountable. And so maybe, Chad, and I'm putting some words in Chad's mouth, maybe there's other ways in which we can hold some of those perpetrators accountable, like the Fort Pierce, right, grand jury issue.
Fort Pierce, Florida.
We can avoid all of the sexually abused victims by pursuing them on this other avenue, because a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are the same players.
And Brooks, you are a host of the show. We were able to break the Fort Pierce grand jury on this show before anyone else talked about it, as far as in the radio land world. We scooped Alex Jones, Brooks.
Yes, we did.
I mean, how the fuck did we do that?
Well, and Brooks scooped on
Brooks scooped of course, the shooting of that young lady and
Stabbing.
stabbing. I mean,
That's
yeah,
up close and
fucking
personal.
brutal.
Stab you with a pocket knife.
Yeah.
How? By the way, listen, I remember when you were telling that story that night, and then when
Chad and I looked at each other like,
we
what are
we
you
hadn't
talking about?
we hadn't heard about it at all.
Right.
But
Right.
after we got off air, I kid you not, like 2 hours later, it comes up on my YouTube feed.
It exploded. That's
Yeah.
right. We were part of the breaking the news. I let it out. I think I let it out Wednesday night, and then by the time I went on Saturday night, it was still not really out there.
Yeah.
Sunday,
Boom.
we blew it out again,
And Monday is when it hit the mainstream media.
and that's when Pam Bondi got involved and charged him federally.
It's just, I mean, horrific shit is horrific shit, and we've all seen it personally. We've watched it, you know, not personally by being voyeurs, like with Charlie being assassinated. It's horrible shit. Is horrible shit, and that was beyond horrible. The thing that I would say, Brooks, is with that particular situation, let's just isolate this situation. Every person on that train is a fucking coward.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what they do. That's what they do. They keep their heads down. They watch people get murdered, and they go, "Well, if I don't say anything, nothing will happen to me. I'll be able to get off the train, and I'll go my merry way."
If
Only
you and I,
one
if you and I were on that train and we saw that happening, that guy would be dead.
You'd be dead. Yeah, I would have shot him 3 times right between the eyes before he got a chance to stab her.
Mm.
There's no way she's at least brutalized that bad if Brooks and I are seeing that happen. Fuck that. No.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. And that's the issue. Well, not really the issue. That's really the risk of Mayor Vi letting this kind of behavior, and she's instructing her magistrates and her city councilmen to exacerbate it. That's the risk that you run, is now the public is aware of what you're doing, and they're not going to stand for it. They're going to arm themselves. And when these situations occur, like this veteran that had his home broken into by 3 armed thugs, they're going to be ready, and they're going to shoot back. And those 3 thugs died. They got shot in the head and neck. This guy knew exactly what he was doing when they broke in with their guns. They were going to kill him and rob him. And he shot all 3 of these kids and killed them. Now the parents want, of course, the guy charged with their murder, because they said, well, he was there to rob you. They were there to rob you, and you were there to kill them, so you should stand trial for murder. And the families are just livid, absolutely livid. But you know what? Those teens will never do it again.
But it takes you to stand up and do that. There are a lot of people that would be the victim and allow the robbery occur, as opposed to responding. Right? I mean, I'm just saying there's a lot of people. If you told them in 30 minutes your house is going to be broken into and your lives are going to be at risk and they are going to rob you, they would just basically leave the house, and allow it to occur, and then let it go through. And there's a term going around the last 2 or 3, 4 months, that we're not the same. And we need to decide as a society who we are. Are we going to, and it's tough to use the word enable. Are we going to enable this criminal activity and tolerate it? Or are we going to say, no, we're going to protect our life, our liberty, and our possessions, and you are not going to come in and take them, and we need to decide that as a nation.
Yeah, Yeah. And when we the people of Charlotte say, damn it, send in ICE, send in Border Patrol, and let's scoop these people up, including the city councilman, including the magistrate, these foreign-born judges
Yeah.
that some of them are illegals or naturalized citizens, revoke their green cards and deport them. Make this happen. We're going to lose Charlotte if it doesn't happen.
Right.
Brooks, this point that you have brought up and then Keith is expounding upon, you are as well, but Brooks has written a book about it also, and this is where I had Brooks on from 2009 to like 2013, and somewhere in there, Brooks, I realized, holy shit, we're not just talking about this guy with physics anymore. I realized, holy yes, he wants to come on and talk about the Bill of Rights and the Constitution.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's
You
attracting
remember
me.
you remember when it changed, Brooks, on the show? I was like, oh, because every time you came on, it was like, well, we're going to talk about physics.
Yeah.
Which I'm fascinated about. But once I realized this guy is like Ty Bollinger and this guy is like Jim Mars, this guy is like Holland Banner Neuenhoff, this guy is like John B. Wells. We can talk about anything and everything. We can go anywhere. He's fully awake. Holy shit, Brooks, you're fully
He's an
awake.
American.
But yes, but the Constitution, in the Constitution, now if I'm wrong, and you know, I'm never wrong. But thank you, Adam. Thank you for the sound of it. Listen, the United States president has to be born here in the United States.
Yes.
Okay? But there's a big problem going on, which you've been talking about, Brooks, where there's people who are not even citizens, and they're becoming mayors, and they're becoming, city councilmen. Yes.
And Congress people.
Elon, marry your brother shit. There's a problem here.
There's a whole bunch in the Somali community that have done that.
There's a big problem. Where do we go wrong, and how do we correct that? Because listen, if you have to be born in the United States and be an American citizen to be the president, you should probably, the same should follow for being mayor, city councilman,
Congress.
Senate,
House. Senate.
But somehow that's went by the wayside. What the fuck happened with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the liberals are saying that these people deserve representation because they're residents of the United States. No, they don't. Only citizens of the United States deserve representation.
Exactly.
Not illegals.
Exactly.
Well, isn't it Teddy Roosevelt who talked about a simulation, and that, the bottom line is that we love immigrants that come to the United States, but who become Americans with American values.
Sure.
I mean that.
There's a difference between illegals and immigrants.
Oh, absolutely. There.
If you're doing it legally, that's the process.
Right.
If you're fucking coming in here and then taking everybody's dough and sending it back to, that's a big difference. And killing citizens while you're doing it.
Yeah.
And having political, views that are opposed to American values and such. I mean, that,
assimilation is definitely something. I wasn't stepping on you with that. If you're going to legally come here to the United States and become a citizen, blah, 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 legally, of course you should assimilate, not create 40 different little Havanas.
Well, that's right. And if you have no intention of assimilating, you don't need to be here in this country. You need to go home.
Right.
If you're out there in the streets waving the national flag from your home country, go home.
Right? Yes, Adam.
See ya.
Well, guys, it's been an hour and 18 minutes.
Okay, Brooks, I'm sorry we kept you. I know you said you wanted to do an hour, so we'll keep you for the rest of this hour. Just
Brooks, I look forward to seeing you, talking to you next week, man.
Yep, I'll be here. I'll be here. I just got to work tomorrow, and I got to get some stuff ready for Monday. And
go for it, man.
It's cool, but Brooks, you got to tell everyone, brooksagnew.com. What are they doing?
Yes, brooksagnew.com. When you get there, you're going to be faced with two buttons. One says "Get my free newsletter," so by all means, get my free newsletter. And the other one is "Get Ivan and Roxy with no prescription." That stands for ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. That means you don't need a prescription, and I promise you, shop all you want. You will not find it less expensive than you will on my website. You know you have to have this stuff in your medicine cabinet. It's cold and flu season. You're going to get the flu. You might as well have the cure in your box. So go to my website and get it. If you get sick in the flu and you got fevers and chills for 2 weeks, you're a dumbass.
Amen. Preach, my
cure
man.
is right there.
Nicely said, Brooks. brooksagnew.com. Brooks, you know I love you, my brother, and we'll see you next. Hey, listen, make a note. November 22 next week we will be off again, and then after that we're back on the regular.
Okay, no problem.
And I'll send you a reminder. But we are in, and you just reminded me to remind our listeners. But but after that we're done with with nights off. But Brooks, have a great rest of your soon to be Domingo mañana, your Domingo morning. And
happy belated Veterans Day, guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah, to you and Keith Temple. Air Force and Navy guys right there.
We can get along. There you go. Yeah.
All right, Brooks, we'll talk to you in about 2 weeks, my brother. Take care. Have a great night.
All right. Good night, guys.
Thank you, Brooks.
Brooks Agnew right there, folks. brooksagnew.com. You can check that out.
Interesting man in the world.
Yes. Yeah.
And Chad, I think as he logs out, the issue is that 3 months ago or so, whenever I started joining the show regularly,
yeah,
I didn't come to you and say, "Man, that guy's the best physicist," or whatever the issue is. I said, "That man's an American. Yeah. That man loves this country." That is what is just clear about Brooks. And I think that's what's important about this show, is that I love it that
he's just trying to keep you on the mic.
I got you. That's fine. I love it that you're vulnerable enough to say, "Hey, I might end up with omelet on my face, but this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm putting into the light. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't have to be limited to, this, whatever this issue is." And Brooks is that way too.
Yeah.
America is based upon the idea of, hey, let's have the First Amendment is freedom of the speech. We are allowed by the First Amendment to express our views, our opinions, to engage discussion about it. And we can't be any more wrong than the mainstream media over the last 5 to 10 years. They've been wrong way more than we have.
No, we're just too right. We're just too correct. You understand? We're correct, and they're fucking wrong.
It takes a couple years sometimes for it to come out.
It does.
I'm waiting for that grand jury not only to be looking at Brennan and Hillary and whoever else was involved with Fusion, in the
Dude,
Russian hoax and
Dude, I dropped some bombs today. I'm telling you, Larry Summers and Catherine Rumblers. What a fucked up last name. Sorry, Catherine. But those two are already in the emails, which are connected to Barry Soetoro, to the Epstein shit. So this is Barry Soetoro. Other people know him as some guy named Barack Obama. These two names are already there. It's a chess. It's a game of brilliance that 47 is doing right now. Because once again, if he had anything to do with it, it would be outed.
It'd have been outed when Kamala Harris was running. And
No, even before that. While Joe effing Biden was in office, it would have already everything. And he knows that, and that's what's going on. This is, and that's why there's this meltdown by the controlled mainstream media, which I'll always call them the controlled mainstream media, MSM, blah blah blah. That's why it's going to be that way for a while. And but this shit is coming out. It's coming out. And Adam Earth, you get to talk a little bit more tonight. What do you think about chicken?
He's been eating this chicken spaghetti.
First time having chicken spaghetti. Tell me, man. Come on, you got to give me a rating because you usually rate my food.
It's pretty good. Really good.
Nah.
I hate it when he says pretty good. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, it sucks.
Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of a dick move.
We'll take another bite.
That's right. I am satisfied with this. I'm going to make this again.
You've added a couple of new dishes to
Oh,
your
dude, I mean,
repertoire.
I'm always adding dishes.
And you're jazzed about it. And,
I'm always adding dishes.
we can peel back an awful lot of stuff.
Go back to onion.
But the idea is that at the end of the day, we want, but we don't. I'll be honest, at least me. I'm a little older than you, and I have kids and grandkids. But the issue is we want to enjoy an abundant life. The life that the great Creator Christ intended for us is what we want. And the idea is that our founding fathers were in tune and aligned with that. And the idea is that, it wasn't perfect. Yes, slavery was bad, and we've tried to rectify some of our mistakes. But we've also fought World War I. We fought the Civil War. We fought World War II. The idea is that we have tried to be the beacon of hope and liberty for the world. The bottom line is you look at other continents, Europe, Africa, Asia, they are all, South America, they are all under attack. And the beacon of hope, right? The beacon of freedom is America. And America's under attack. And it is a literal war of ideology.
It's been under attack by the New World Order for a long time.
50 years? At least
bit.
50 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 100 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 150 years.
The globalists have not stopped. They got their ass kicked in 2016.
Yes, they did.
And then they got their ass kicked again in 2020, but they didn't realize it.
Yes, they did.
Because when they stole the election in 2020, they didn't realize they kicked their ass, their own ass, and woke so many people up.
Right.
To that in 2024, so many more people know that people like you and me and Brooks Agnew and Scott Hare and so many people, right? Our guests, so many people are not batshit crazy kooky conspiracy theorists. They woke so many people up that Tucker Carlson got fired from Fox, and he was like, good, because now I'm bigger than I was ever on Fox, and now I'm bringing Alex Jones on as my first guest on my show, and Alex Jones became bigger than he's ever been because Tucker Carlson got fired, and Tucker Carlson is talking about 9/11 being an inside job. Would Tucker Carlson ever on Fox talk about 9/11 being an inside job? Fuck no.
No, they liberated him.
Exactly.
They set him free, and I think Bill O'Reilly on some levels is there. I think Candace Owens on some level. They may not be right. They might be batshit crazy on some stuff, but at least they're not in the mainstream media and they're shining a light.
Tucker's the dude, is what I'm saying.
No, I think Tucker's the dude. I think Tucker's very, very solid, and I pray for for Tucker and his issue. But you're right. I mean, the idea is that there's no doubt that, as we said in the men's Bible study this morning, there's a fight. There's a spiritual fight. Our fight is not against flesh and blood. Yeah, Chuck Schumer, in my opinion, is a piece of shit. Right?
He's a globalist piece of shit.
Right.
He's a New World Order piece of shit.
Right. In my opinion, that's my opinion of him. Right? But the issue is my fight's not against Chuck Schumer.
Folks, Chuck Schumer doesn't like us either. So, so it's not like we're being assholes to him. He doesn't like me or Keith or Adam. They could give a shit about us.
He likes me.
Right. And so the
he
idea,
still doesn't know how to grill a burger. Go ahead.
Right. And so the idea is that, hey, we need to decide as a nation who we are. Are we going to be...
For the record, I'm a piece of shit to Chuck Schumer. That's his opinion.
I am sure that there are not very many liberal Democrats that would support my position. But hey, I'm almost 62. I hope I have 20 more years, maybe 30 more years.
You're gonna start doing something called biohacking, and you got a lot more.
40 years.
You got a lot more of that if you will fucking do it.
Yeah, there you go.
Like some people, other people I know.
Yeah, Chad. I mean, but the issue is
it's too hard. Shut the fuck up. It's not that hard.
I got kids. I got grandkids. I'm looking forward to great grandkids at some point. The issue is I want to pass on to them in America.
Keith, I can't give you children. We're not related.
Yeah, I know you can't.
I can't give you grandchildren.
You know what?
What?
I appreciate my ex-wife.
Okay.
My ex-wife, who I haven't spoken with in 12, 14 years. You know what? I appreciate you. Because today, not some fantasy issue, today, I spent hours with our children and our grandchildren. And the issue is that without you, I wouldn't have had those children and grandchildren. And I want to pass on to those children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren the opportunity to be Americans.
Of course. Well, I'm with you on that completely.
You're chuckling, my man. You're chuckling.
No, Adam, you're kicking ass right there with your Adam. Just for the listeners, real quick, change my voice to whatever you want to, real quick.
Let's see if he can push the right button. There you go.
What are we doing with right now?
Oh, that's the evil, scary voice.
Keep it right there. I want to talk to Keith Chapman. Lieutenant Keith.
That does get a little scary, Keith, so I had to change my voice. How you like me now?
What I like about this show.
My little pretties.
Is we're able to be real.
Yes. Yes. And right now we're real.
and talking
Mm-hmm.
and expressing and hoping. There is
Oh.
no benefit to us talking for Chad or myself or Adam or Tony, the producer, or Brooks. We're all there,
How you doing, Brooks?
right?
Yeah.
The idea is, the benefit is, we want to encourage you in your sphere of influence to say, you know what? There is hope.
There is.
And I have faith, right?
Yes.
Right? And, you know, and I feel
The great one.
the great one. Love,
Thank you.
community, whatever it is. You know, and Chad, I'll put this out there real quick, and
I gotta
you,
put the
you can
Kurt thing
you
out.
can probably kick me in the shin because I'm close enough for you to do that because you got really long legs. Is the idea is I've thought about the show and where it's going in 2026. And I've thought about Charlie Kirk and the opening of new chapters and that. Chad and I can have dinner every weekend if we want to,
That's right.
to benefit ourselves. But the issue is that both of us, much like Brooks, would like to share our life with you to help support you in building your relationships so that you are supported and you can positively and impact your sphere of influence. That's where we're going. That's where.
Listen, it's always a great show. Period. Once again, all right. So we'll have Adam back here in a little bit. What's that? Yeah, that's fine, man.
on.
Just take care of
Whenever.
it, dude. All right. So very quickly, so I don't forget. All right. Listen. Once again, if you're new to the show, obviously, if you're listening to us on Rumble or YouTube, we're on both. All that jazz. If you're new to the show, tell anyone. Hey, check this show out. Right. Show kind of used to be a big deal. We're talking about being humble, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, show used to kind of be a big deal back in the day because we were on terrestrial radio, like radio stations, and that was from like 2009 to 23 and shit like that. And without getting into why we're not there anymore, because Keith Temple, I'm just kidding, because but
I got him kicked off because I'm too
it's too controversial.
too
We were never controversial
intense was the
until
word I was-
Keith Temple came on the show. But anyway, so in this venture of being now a podcast, yeah, we're rebuilding the show. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. Now I get to cuss. 2009 to 2023,
Enjoy dinner.
I couldn't fucking cuss or eat dinner or drink on air. So you've opened up a Pandora's box, bitches, and all that jazz. So I'm gonna pour Keith Lieutenant Temple some more red agua, roje agua. It's just roje agua, folks. It's just red water.
It's just red water.
That's all it is. Everyone calm the fuck down.
You say Lieutenant Templin. I did. I did graduate from the Naval Academy in 1986. I have some amazing classmates. Some of which maybe sometime I'll hope to have on the show. Maybe we'll see. But
I got this guy's name right here.
This guy Greg Galeros and one of Chad's prior guests.
Oh, long time guest. She's been on many times. Amy, Navy intelligence officer Amy Waters Jarzynski, best-selling author of An American in the Basement. It turns out Keith and I were having dinner last Saturday night when we were off the show, but we still cooked dinner here. And it turns out
Having jambalaya. I'm from New Orleans. Chad rocked.
I cooked some jambalaya. Keith wanted jambalaya. We fucking did jambalaya. And it did rock.
It
Did rock. And but it turns out, even though I've known Keith for a number of years and I knew he was in the Navy, just through conversation, because we're just having dinner and talking and cooking dinner and all this, turns out he's on the Saratoga 90.
Whatever,
What was the- what
whatever
was,
the Persian Gulf War started in the early
It
90s.
was 91, right?
91.
He's on the Saratoga. He launched. He was the dude who was launching from the catapult. He's launching the fighters. And I was like, holy shit. So I called Amy Waters-Jarzynski. So he was there the night that Captain Michael Scott Spiker
Didn't return.
launched and was called the first casualty, which was a total lie because he was shot down by friendly fire and then 12 years later executed. It's a long story and it's a horrible story, but we are three different puppets of the United States, not presidents, three puppets of the United States, three puppetential administrations. Scott Spiker, Captain Michael Scott Spiker, from Jacksonville, Florida, right here, launched off the Saratoga. It was a lie that he was shot down by an Iraqi MiG and killed. The United States government knew that he was alive from 1991 to 2003. They knew he was there. The CIA visited him. Senators and congressmen, which is in Amy's book, knew he was there. They knew it. Navy SEAL, listen, I should say it this way. Naval Special Warfare Command, which would be SEAL operations, knew he was there and over and over again throughout years requested to extract him. Denied over and over again. Why? Because the official story was Scott Spiker was the first casualty to sell it, the poster boy for the Gulf War. He was a casualty. That's the story they're going with, and they never changed it. They wouldn't not go back on it. It's fucking horrible. And now I just went into a different direction, folks, and I'm sorry. We were going to be talking about jelly beans.
You know,
that you can buy at your
Reagan
local grocery store.
Was really fond of jelly beans. I think that was Ronald Reagan's snack, candy
Jelly
of choice. But yes, and I think it
this
fits
guy
a
right
bit-
here launched those boys.
Right. I was
Back in
the
the day.
forward propulsion officer on the USS Saratoga at the beginning of the Persian Gulf War. And during that night, I was in Propulsion 1, the first main engine room that provided steam to the catapult for Catapult 1 that launched the first plane. And we were the furthest aircraft carrier away from the strike zone. So it was the first act of war launching the first plane. Now, other than that, I don't have any firsthand knowledge of that, other than I know that Scott Spiker was on the Saratoga, launched, and didn't return. Now, I do have a friend, a Naval Academy graduate, and my classmate that I am personal friends with, that was on Catapult 1.
Yeah.
And the only way I know he was on Catapult 1 was I got up out of the engineering rooms a few hours before we launched, and I went up to the flight briefing rooms to pray with them. And lo and behold, my friend, right, my classmate, was in there, and I recognized him. And I didn't know he was on Catapult One. And lo and behold, a few years later, after one of our friends passed away here in Jacksonville, and we were talking, we put 2 and 2 together, that he was on Catapult One and a fighter jet, and I was in engine room number 1 providing the steam, and he launched off.
And that was Greg
Galeros, and Scott Spicer launched off. I don't know what
Scott Spiker.
Spiker. I don't know what catapult he was on, and we went through and did that, and and we got the whole 9/11 issue that we've talked about for years. I've been on to talk about. I love the guy Richard Gage, who talks about to support the whole idea of that. But 9/11. President Bush was elected. There was Bush v. Gore that I have a connection with, but we'll stay out of that for tonight. And Bush was elected. 8, 9, 10 months later, 9/11 occurs, right? Bunch of Saudis operating out of Pakistan. We go to war in Iraq. Okay, you connect those dots, ever how you want to. So we go to war in Iraq, and then we just do our part, and we try to fit it together. And all I've said on this show is I want to support America. I want to support you, the viewer, right? The listener, the person who's out there is, am I alone? Right? Am I the only one out here that sees what's going on? We want to help you connect with others. That's the bottom line.
Hey, we're kicking ass, and you're doing a great job. And
Right.
That's just plain simple. And so you're looking at the dude who was. He was on the Saratoga when the Gulf War started. He's on the Saratoga when Captain Michael Scott Spiker was launched into that bombing raid, and he was shot down by friendly fire. It was Spock Anderson. It's documented. Spock Anderson fucking shot him. Friendly fire. They covered it up. Huge fucking cover up. And they lied to you forever. And it's just ridiculous, and it's horrible. If you think about how horrible it is that to keep a story, to sell a story, you let your countryman, you let Scott Spiker fucking sit there as a prisoner. At first, he lived with the Bedouins, by the way. Okay, when he landed on the ground, he lived with the Bedouins. They protected him for a little while. Then, when he was found, the Bedouins were fucking slaughtered, were protecting him, and then he was and then he was in prison for the rest of the time. But bottom line, for 12 years, 1991 to 2003, he's there wasting away. And once again, Naval Special Warfare, which is the SEAL community, special operations, they knew it. They offered over and over again because the CIA knew he was there. The 3 different puppetential administrations knew he was there. Denied. We can extract him. Denied. What we're gonna do? We've already told everyone that Scott Spiker's dead. We can't go get him now. That's fucking stupid and insane, and that's, you're a criminal. Oh, but wait, the people running those administrations, all 3 of them, are criminals. Plain and simple. Can we? If you want to say something real quick, say it. And I want to de-escalate.
Would not happen if he was a Marine Corps pilot. The Marine Corps would have gone in and then dealt with the consequences. That's my personal opinion. His Marine Corps is very loyal. They follow orders, but they do not leave people behind. So, hoo-ha to the Marine Corps and their valor and their commitment to truth.
Well, right there, I understand that. But again, Naval Special Warfare, which is the Navy SEALs, wanted to extract him over and over again, and they were denied. I mean, it's just fact.
Sounds very similar to Benghazi.
Doesn't it?
Sounds very, very similar to the Chinook that went down with the Special Forces. Seems like there's a common theme here of not.
Are you talking about the Chinook? You mean with special operators?
Yes.
Yeah. SF and special operators have your head. They're not the same. Special operators, Navy SEALs. You're talking about Extortion 17. It's on my bracelet right here.
Michael Savage, PO First Class.
Yeah.
Petty Officer First Class. Michael
Petty
Savage.
Officer First Class Michael Strange.
Strange.
Michael Strange. KIA, killed in action. 8/6/2011. Extortion 17.
Yes.
Yeah. That's an inside job like a motherfuck. And it's not going to be forgotten. It's not going to be forgotten.
Remember our founding fathers. Remember Patrick Henry. At what, 19? 19? He's caught by the British. And he's going to be hung. And his last words are, I wish that I had more than one life to give for our country. Right? I mean, that is a heritage that we are on. Remember what JFK said before he was assassinated. Think not what your country can give to you, but what you can give to the country, right? And I think that's the heritage, the truth that Chad and myself and Brooks and others are trying to say is that, hey, please wake up. Please understand that you are in a fight of ideology. You are in a spiritual fight between good and evil. And you need to have positive influence.
Keith, yes, you were fucking right. You're right. I need to, before we get out of here, with now you're tripping me up, and so I'll try and get to it because I got two things I got to get to before we get out of here.
Amen.
But just real quick, and then let me get to these two things. With you saying JFK, let's remember I would always point people to JFK's speech on secret societies and freedom of the press. It's formally called his address to. It's the American Free Press, but I always call it his speech on secret societies and freedom of the press. In that speech, which he mentions the New World Order and the globalist, okay, the speech that some people say got him killed. He says, to piggyback on what you're saying, I'm trying to remember exactly the name of it. I just call it. Yeah, I'll have to find it and say it next time we're on. But JFK speech on. Anyway, he says, America will be what it was born to be, free and independent. Talking about standing up to the globalist bullshit. He called all the shit out. I'll send the speech to you.
Thank you.
It's a gorgeous speech. It starts out, ladies and gentlemen, the very word secrecy. I'm trying to go up. The very word secrecy. You know what? I'm gonna fuck it up. So we'll just leave it alone. Let me get to what I need to say, because I won't forget this, okay? But anyway, folks, if you look up JFK's speech on secret societies and freedom of the press, then you can find the damn shit that I'm fucking up right now, okay? Sometimes I can remember everything perfectly, and sometimes, hey, you know, but I'll remember this. I'm gonna do a Kurt Cobain quote every single, a line from him every single night until we do our Kurt Cobain special.
In April, you said March.
In
right?
April, the anniversary of his murder, not his suicide, his murder. Okay, so I'm sticking with Nirvana's second album, Nevermind, which sold 30 million albums. Everyone thinks that's their first album. It's not their first album, but I'm sticking with Nevermind and a song called Drain You. Okay. And so these lyrics, I can't forget these lyrics. So one baby said to another, one baby said to another, I'm lucky that I've met you. I don't care what you think unless it is about me. It is now my duty to completely drain you. I'll travel through a tube and end up in your infection. Sloppy lips to lips. You're my vitamins. I love you. Kurt Cobain, the greatest lyricist of all time, and fuck you if you disagree with me. He is.
I think he's a little biased by his age.
I think I'm a little biased by the fact that, I listen to all kinds of different genres of rock and eras of rock. As a lyricist myself, I'd be an asshole if I called myself the best lyricist. Kurt Cobain's the best damn lyricist of all time. Plain and simple. He's better than Barry, than Taupin, who wrote for John Elton, or Elton John, I mean. I just reversed Elton John's name. But Taupin was a great lyricist, blah, 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 not really.
Amen to all you artists. I just want to...
No, Taupin's a great lyricist.
Right.
But I'm just saying he's not Kurt Cobain.
There are some of you artists that are very passionate about your experience in your life, right? Right?
Thank you.
And I'm not very artistic, but I do appreciate
Kurt Cobain was murdered. That's what we're getting at. That's what I'm getting at eventually. We'll say that in April. And I like the sentiment, and holy shit, what are we doing? Because I don't have enough time to get all this in.
No,
we only have 2 minutes. So, Adam, I still need you here.
And I need to do the Trump 45, 47 little dance. I'm working
listen,
on it.
Let me.
I get a little too animated, and I get above.
Well, before you
shoulders.
do so, can I still get Adam in here?
Yeah, let's
Okay,
get Adam.
we only
in.
got 2 minutes.
Adam, what you got going on?
I'm trying to get him in here. You got to let me do it. Adam, I need your advice on this, okay?
Okay.
So here's the deal. You've heard about when the Amigos went to Miami last year for the cruise.
Right.
Dick Johnson and myself and the chick, we didn't. The other Amigos flew to Miami. We drove, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those storms, summer storms, that kept no matter where you were going, you kept going right back into the damn storm.
Right.
You get out of it, clear, then right back into the storm, right?
Right.
And from Jacksonville to Miami, it's 6 hours, all that jazz, as far as the drive on average and all that shit. Took us 9 hours to get to Miami because of the storm and all the motherfuckers in South Florida who drive stupid.
Okay.
Because of that storm, listen, Dick Johnson, we rented a car. Dick Johnson was driving the fucking car.
Oh, God.
And he had the cruise control set at 80 and a 70, right? There were fuckers flying by us over and over again. And do you know how many crashes we saw? That's why we were slowed down. Not because of the storm, but because of all the dumb fucks flying by us and then crashing. FHP and every here in Jacksonville, we have Jacksonville Fire, we have JFRD. So every fire rescue department in South Florida was just really busy, along with Florida State Troopers. It was just accident after accident, and it always came after, like, right by us. We're doing 80. You had to have been doing 100 something. You know, in rain. You're crazy. Well, if you're, I'm gonna pump this out for people. If you like watching YouTube videos and all that shit, there's something called Traffic Thursdays and Traffic Tuesdays. They're two different law enforcement departments in South Florida, two different departments. They just do traffic, right?
Right.
These motherfuckers in South Florida, that's why we're never driving down there again for a cruise. Like this summer, next summer, we're flying. On Traffic Tuesdays and Traffic Thursdays on YouTube, two different law enforcement departments in South Florida. These two traffic agencies, law enforcement agencies, are pulling people over doing 70 in a 45.
Okay.
On the regular. That's how fucking stupid people in South Florida are. Other than you voted for Trump, thank you. But stop driving crazy. We need you to continue to vote correctly. So start driving correctly. You're voting correctly. We need you to drive correctly. Crazy. How can you listen? You go out here, right here. When you turn out of here, it's a 40. It's a 40. How the fuck can you do 70 miles an hour on that road? It's impossible.
With my eyes closed.
Unless you're stupid. Anyway. All right. So now I'll shut up. We're over time. And I did all that, because I wanted to.
Adam, what you think about what's going on? Anything? Speak your mind the last minute here.
Pasta was delicious. That's all I know.
Chicken
Pasta
spaghetti was delicious. Rock the fuck on.
Yes.
All right. We'll do it again.
Hey, Tony, we need you, man, because I need to do my dance.
You don't need Tony for that.
You don't? I need Adam?
You need that.
Adam.
All right.
Go for it.
Well,
I'm going to try to. I'm going to treat
still need
it.
Tony to get us out of here, dude.
No, we need you to get us out of here. Take it away.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try to keep my hands down to do a better imitation of 45 and 47 because I have a tendency to go up and his is down.
All right. Well, then let me just go ahead and say this very quickly, folks. Reminder, next Saturday night we are off, and then we are back on the regular, of course, until Christmas. So, but we will be back after the 22nd, which is next Saturday, okay? We will be back with you. I want to thank Dr. Brooks Agnew for being with us, for our elusive engineer, the greatest producer on the planet, the Sentinel. Our other great producer, of course, Tony and webmaster Scott Hare,
I think he's asleep.
Scott Hare, who will be back with us very, very soon. You heard Adam Earth, you heard Keith Temple, and folks, of course.
See, I got him laughing.
The great, luscious Bob Austin, folks. Until next time, let justice be done, though the heavens fall. I'm Truth. This is the one and only Earth, and you'll get to watch us dance for a little bit and stuff.
Oh! I think Tony's out.
Hey, you get extra show tonight.
I get extra. Great show, my man. I love it. All right.
Great show, and these are the deleted scenes, folks. The extras. Behind the scenes, what the fuck goes on after the show's over? Well, we sit here and continue talking.
Oh wow!
All right, folks, we love you. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
5-10 years from now, we'll love looking back and saying, "Wow, man, weren't we free and unabridged?"